All right, welcome back to our video series on creating our maze solving GUI. We left off last time where when we ran maze GUI, we got our maze. It's not quite the right size yet. We're not going to worry about that just yet. Instead, I'm going to focus on how do we get it to, in this video, we're going to get it to solve the maze and display the solution. So we're going to get this button working where instead of quitting, it actually does something. So first, though, we need to make sure that our maze will display visited nodes. All right, so I'm going to say here else if node dot is visited, as in we went there. Then we're going to set the color to, I'm just going to make it blue. And then we'll go ahead and fill the rectangle and then set it up to black. So I'm actually just going to copy these two lines and paste them there. All right, so how do we test this? Well, I think in my maze GUI, or I'm sorry, in my maze frame, after we generate our maze, we could then just solve our maze. All right, so we could say maze. I'm sorry, in my maze panel, I guess would make the more sense there. Maze panel has the maze. So right here when we create our maze panel, let's go ahead and tell it to solve. So we'll just say maze solver dot pick an algorithm. I'm just going to do breadth first search. We'll do maze. We'll do start row, which recall was row number 1. Start call number 1, and I don't want this to animate right now, so I'm going to say false. So now if we run this, we will recompile and run. Now we can see the solution to our maze showing up in blue. So we know that that blue path is working. For some reason, this one's not blue. I am curious what's going on there. May have to revisit that, see what's happening. So yeah, that's promising. All right. Okay. So let's go ahead and stop that. Okay, so now actually I don't want it to solve immediately. I want it to solve when I press the button. So that's going to be right here. Our maze panel knows about the maze. What else knows about the maze? I guess that's it, which means that we need a method. And I'm just going to have this method be, I'm going to call it getMaze. So it's going to be a public method. It's going to return a maze. And it's going to return the maze here. And that way we can pass this maze, which remember is just a reference to the maze object. We can then solve that maze, and then it should show up. We'll find out. Let's save that. Just to make sure I didn't break anything, I'm going to go ahead and compile and run, and it shouldn't be solved. Okay, good. Now our button is part of our maze frame. So right here, solve button. So what's the action performed going to be? Well, I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to have it so I know that it worked. I'm going to click solving. I don't want it to exit. Instead, I'm going to have it. It's going to try to get maze panels maze. So I'm going to say maze m equals maze panel dot get maze. And then, well, we want to solve that. So I'll do maze solver dot, and again for now I'm just going to pick breadth first. It's going to take maze m. For now we're just going to have it be start 1 false. All right, so when we run this, we see that if we click solve, it does solve it, but we don't actually see any changes unless we drag the window. But that's not what we want. We actually want it to, when we click the button, we want the solution to show up. So the way we make that happen is we're going to tell our maze panel to redraw itself. And the way we do that is we just say repaint. So maze, I'm sorry, not maze, maze panel dot repaint. All right, so now if we compile this, and run it, and so now when we click solve, it works. There we go. Again, except for this little blue spot up here, not exactly sure. Let's go ahead and switch back to our maze frame. And instead of being this new maze, let's just go ahead and make it a random 15 by 15, just to see what this looks like. Gonna run this, gonna compile it first. Run. Okay, so now we see our maze, and now if we click solve, it solves it. Very cool. All right, progress. So that'll be it for this video. Thanks for watching.